Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today, on Deja Vu, it's going to be Noob and Sharp. PvT for you for your Monday. Top right, it is Sharp. Bottom left, it is Noob. Fun to say his name. He is not a noob. He is an incredible Protoss player, but maybe he wants to lull people into a false sense of security if they don't know who he is, right? I don't know. I think most people who play StarCraft know who Noob is, but just in case... He's like, I loaded up against a noob. Excellent. Free win here for me today. 400 APM from noob. 500 and 9,600 from Sharp. Just idle using hotkeys to get that. No advantage here. Just warming up his fingers for when he's actually going to need a lot of APM. I will be surprised if at the 10-minute mark of this match, he is still at 600 APM. Look, it's already dropping. 560 APM. Oh, not as impressive as 600, is it? So, Deja Vu, a map combining a lot of elements from other maps from the past here. ASL 21 is ongoing right now. Felt like it would never show up. Flash is not participating. It makes me very, very sad, but maybe one day Flash will show up right now. So, and right now, I am just assuming the worst. I'm assuming that Flash will never again compete in an ASL, and if he wants to prove me wrong, then he can. So, no Nexus first here from Noob, just a gateway here. Barracks at the top of the ramp here from Sharp. Excellent stuff. Hit the like button, click it, tap it. If you're excited to see a PvT featuring these two players, you should be, man. It is the highest level of StarCraft, man. Just everything is so good when there's pro players involved. The timings, the micro, the macro. You can micro 4 zealots in 4 different places and still get a round of dragoons off if you are noob. So good to see. So, SCV scouting out. No gas here. So it's going to be a Rax into an expansion with a bunker, but cross-spawn helps with that. Cybercore coming in, not skipping any steps. Here is Noob against a Barcode Terran player. I feel like that barcode is indistinguishable from other barcodes, right? So maybe he does not know it's Sharp, or maybe he does. RJB does know it's Sharp because he put this replay into his barcode detector and it spat out Sharp. There we go. There's the expansion. Okay, so it's going to be an economic advantage here from the Terran player. But the economic advantage can be drained by having Dragoons wail on the bunker here and forcing SCVs to repair it, draining minerals from your bank. So if you didn't see, what was it, Snow versus a Barcode player last week, one of the most epic games I've ever cast in my entire life, I'm just going to tell you right now, it features a hatchery inside Snow's main base that he doesn't see until it's done. If that doesn't make you want to go watch that, if that doesn't tell you what kind of game it is, why it's epic tagged, check it out, man. Seriously, Snow versus a Barcode. The people in the comments were like, that's got to be Zealot, and I thought it must be Zealot too. He played a lot like Zealot, right? But RJB swears up and down, not Zealot. Don't know who it is, but it's not him. Crazy stuff on the ladder, man. Bunker coming in. SCV sees no Protoss. Probe seeing no Terran. Okay, finally gas here. Factory timing going to show up here as soon as he has enough gas to do so, which is just about right now. And there it is. Check it out. A factory. Ho-ho. What incredible stuff here. So the SCV gonna... Oh, just chasing the SCV here saying, hey, where are you going? You're trying to scout me? And the answer is yes, dude. Of course I am. Dragoon checks bottom right. Ugh. The scouting is going to show Terran at the last place you look. And yeah, when there aren't Dragoons wailing on your bunker, this is a good time. Already, hang on a second. A Singularity Charge done? I don't think it is. I think he skipped Singularity Charge to get a Robotics Facility out earlier. There it is. Look at that. Robotics Facility into Singularity Charge. Uh-oh. All right, Sharp's ahead, dude. Without range, the Dragoons will be hit by this bunker. And look, right there. You cannot range the bunker without range. Wait, did we cancel? We canceled range? What are we doing, noob? Like, all right, I'm too late. I'm too late to go ahead and get some economic damage on that bunker, so I'm behind right now. I'm going to go ahead and go to Reavers onto base and hope to kill some SCVs to get that economic damage because, again, I am super behind right now. Third base coming in. Look at this. 29 to 25 workers in favor of the Terran player. Absolutely unhinged. This is amazing stuff out of Sharp just getting away with it at an observatory. Wow, that's not even a build. That is not even a building you make to try to get economic damage. That is a building you make to try to stay alive against vultures. Because yeah, speed vultures on the way. Cool enough, I guess. On the other side of it, just trying to make probes, right? Trying to catch up, finally getting singularity charge. He recognizes he was too late. He wasn't going to be able to get enough damage done there anyway. I don't know. I think I disagree with that. I think he definitely could have gotten range on a couple Dragoons, come out here, wailed away on that bunker before the tank came out, because the tank is just now out at 5.5 minutes. I disagree. I think I disagree with the answer here from nOOB, but we'll see. We'll see how we can do from this point on. And again, range upgrade at 5.5 minutes, not even done yet. That is so late. Usually that's the first thing we get. And not today. Not at all. Engineering bay for turrets, because the Terran has no idea if it's Reavers or not. And guess what? The answer is it's not Reavers. At least not yet. That's something we can get later after 3 bases. Something we can get after 4 or 5 bases if we want. Sometimes the Terran can be lulled into a false sense of security and think, this Protoss is not making any Reavers today. And, well, turns out they were just a little bit later than you thought. Could be majorly problematic. Now, what's the play? Do we have a play? Sort of. Well, there's one missile turret. There's spider mines. Protoss feels very gateway manny here with the 4 gates, with the 3 bases. Ooh, does get the wall off with pylons just as that vulture arrives. I don't know, this is pretty available, but Dragoons are covering that access too. So there's siege mode. Here's a push out. Observer keeping an eye on it, seeing what we're dealing with here. Spider mines, yes. Observers, yes, though. I'm going to jump in here and spider mine? No. Spider mining out there. But again, these are now ranged Dragoons. Ooh, there's the rear attack. Yeah, okay. All right. We're putting it right here. Dude, that is asking for it to get sniped. Oh, is he falling back? He's like, you know what? It's a lot of Dragoons. They've got range. Let's just fall back and get a third. Try to defend that with siege tanks. Because siege is not done yet. Third factory coming in. Yeah, 2 factories means early third. Dude, he was not planning on doing any kind of a killing push with that. That was just kind of a push, harass, feint, force the Protoss player to be worried about stuff, and then fall back home. But yeah, spider mining potential expansion locations is always good. At the very least, it's probably going to slow down a probe trying to do an expansion up there. But yeah, hope you guys are having a fantastic week, man. It is March. It's March 2026 by the time this thing posts. Hooray! Who enjoys March? It's a good month in the Northern Hemisphere, right? It warms up, hopefully. You can still get some snowstorms in March. I imagine some of the places that are just icebound right now in the Northeast and in the Midwest of America are probably hoping to get a thaw, get some kind of melting in March. Be good for them. Here in the Salt Lake Valley in Utah, it's just ridiculous. We got one kind of snowstorm. I didn't have to shovel my driveway. If I haven't had to shovel my driveway all season, it'll be the first time ever in the history of living in the state. And I'm, gosh darn, 43 years old, folks. I'm not a spring chicken. Weird winter. And again, tons of snow on the East Coast and the Midwest and down even into Texas and Florida. They've gotten snow. It's crazy. So anyway, 4th base up the left side from nOOB. Tanks up, sieging up. 3 base in Terran is real scary. We know the drill. Upgrades, Factories, Is he worried about carriers? I mean, anything. Look, here's the thing. If you want Charon boosters, it's good for carriers. It's also good if arbiters show up. It's good if there are shuttles, fast shuttles screaming towards your tanks, and you're like, zealot bombs, kill them. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, that's right. Charon boost will help with that immensely. So might as well get the upgrade, man. If there's a Protoss who's not making anything that can fly and threaten you, they're just going to die to your tanks. So that's why we have to get, there you go, the shuttles, the Reavers, the Zealot bombs. I like the 4th base coming in left side here. I think nOOB's okay. It wasn't a great opening for him, but I think he was really good on the macro, really hitting timings. Expanding top left as well, which is just killer. Big fan of that. Yeah, double expanding 1 and 2 simultaneously means you are ready to go. Two, 4, 6. 6 factories. Dragoons are not getting in here, and they know it. Like, look at this. Come in, tank fire, no. Get out. Get out of there. How many? Is it really only 4 gates we've been producing on? He's really just trying to get probes, isn't he? Wow. 4 gates. 4 of them. Temple Archives coming in. Finally a scan. He checks front, sees the Reaver tech, sees the Zealot, sees the Dragoon, says, okay, I know what's up. It's not carriers, at least not now. It could be later, right? Got to continue to scan for carriers, if at all possible. Yeah, again, I read every comment anyone leaves on the channel. If you want a specific player or a matchup or a map on the channel, let me know. I'll see what I can dig out for you. It helps if it's a recent player and a recent map. I do have old stuff, but it's not everything. Like, again, I posted a Terror versus M18 replay on Heartbreak Ridge last week, and that was an older replay, man. That was from almost 20 years ago now. It was fun. Really fun to see how the game has changed over the years. Yeah, if you want a Terror game, he's not really around anymore, so it has to be an older one. But yeah, let me know. Leave a comment. Say hello. I might say hello back. You never know. Control tower, science vessels. Scanning again, just the front. Very, very passive 11 minutes, man. Terran didn't push out. 0 tanks have died from the Protoss. He hasn't been able to get anything done there either, because by the time he showed up, well, Siege was done. Vulture. Oh, Vulture sees this. Look at this. 4 shuttle shenaniganry. 1, 2, 3, 4 4 shuttles full. We got Reavers, Dragoons, Zealots apiece. Natural base sieging up tanks. Turrets getting shots off. Into the main base we go. I guess this is not a hospitable position in the natural. Unloading. And then into the mineral line. Losing one of those shuttles to a turret. No. Reaver shot. Absolutely not. This one, yeah. That one's not going to do anything at all. Zealots going after supply depots. Reavers getting hits off here too, though. And okay, not a quadruple supply depot, but a triple supply depot. Snipe coming in here as well. Nicely done. Beautifully done there. All right, so these guys are done. Look at the Vultures very bravely fighting against the Reavers. They killed one. Oh, shuttle died there too. I don't know if that was worth. I don't know if many SCVs died there at all. It's not a supply block on Sharp. He still has 15 available supply after losing those 3 supply depots in this one, too. I don't know. Carron boost helped there immensely. I think that was a pretty good hold. I really don't think much died there at all for the Terrans. So he's in a great spot. 3 bases. He's got +1. +2's finishing up shortly. He's working on EMP because even if there's not any Arbiters, finally, just more gates. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them. Great. 10 gates. Gateway Man has arrived from nOOB. Now, what makes this game interesting from RJB? That's what I want to know. Right? He doesn't send me replays that are boring or worthless. He sends me replays that are exciting. And awesome in some way. So far, this has been alright. Again, if that drop had like completely wiped out the main base of Sharp, I would have said, yeah, that was an amazing replay. Holy cow. But no, didn't really happen. Sharp just kind of casually handled it, moving across the map. Sieging up here would be good. Sieging up here would be good. Engaging in the middle of the map here. There come the drops again. Unsieged tanks and Goliaths fighting against the Zealots. No real one Vulture here, I guess. The Psy Storm blanketing everything because, again, Storm is the best spell in the game. And it's just good no matter what your enemy is doing or what matchup you're in. Psy Storm is amazing. Always viable, never not viable. Protoss is like, I didn't actually kill as much as I wanted to there. Needed a second Storm or some Zealots to finish those guys off. Sniping a Goliath as you retreat back is a win. I mean, losing a Dragoon for it, maybe not great, but Kinder and Amulet is on the way, coming up top left side. Very scary defense, possibly. Big round of Zealots down here, though. He sees that. He sees that. Scans in. Siege is up. Abandoned ship. Run. Maybe counterattack. But look at these Vultures being like, you can't counterattack. Dude, you can't. Yeah, Zealot bomb it. There it is. Ready for the Zealot bombs, though. Some of the tanks are unsieged. Dragoons come back. Queen out the tank position. 100%. Very nicely done. Kind of held the Dragoons back a little bit until the Zealots could show up inside the shuttles. Shut it down. Saved the Nexus. Took almost no damage whatsoever. So good hold there. Right side. 4th base coming in at the 3 o'clock from Sharp. More scanning. Just he's like, I want to kill that base very much. And I cannot disagree with you on that one, sir. You should want to kill that base very much. 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks. Is that enough to kill it? I don't know. Spider mines. Making it hard. Guess what? It's more Zealots down here. High Templar 2. Here he comes. That's one angle. And then from the bottom side, too. God, this is so good from nOOB. Just casually dropping on stuff. Dropping tanks. Dropping Storm on siege tanks. Zealots here, too. Tank plus Zealot. Usually enough to kill one. This is just... wow. Virtuoso performance here from nOOB. Completely erasing these tank positions. Like it's not even that big of a deal. Getting a science vessel just for good measure. Cool. So I think nOOB's going to win this game. I think he's looking fine. His ability to just sort of casually clear out tank lines that would give other Protoss players fits has been really impressive. Not that it's been, 15, 20 siege tanks. It's been 7, 8, 9, 10 siege tanks, which is easier to do, to be fair to other Protoss players. Another race coming in. So 2, 4, 6 bases for the Protoss. 4 bases for the Terran. Any sign of carrier tech? Production tab is telling us no. Hmm. 199 to 154 supply. nOOB is maxed out. nOOB is at 73 probes. nOOB is working on getting a bank at 67 SCVs. It's not like Sharp is poor or anything here. I like Sharp. He's a good Terran player. He really is. He's in the top echelon of players. Do I think he's going to win ASL 21? I do not. But again, what Terran is going to win ASL 21? I don't know. I heard they're trying to make the maps a little more Terran favored because we keep getting Protoss and Zerg in the finals of the ASLs. And where's the Terran representation? Say all the Flash fans. I mean, you don't have to be a Terran to be a Flash fan. You can just love Flash and play Zerg like me. So, Protoss, 2-2 upgrades. Tanks, 2-0 upgrades with the +3 coming in on the attack and a +1 on the armor. Obs flew a little bit too close to the sun there. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Up the left side. Probes transferring. Into the middle we go. Is the Terran going to try to take the middle? Sometimes that happens on Deja Vu. Again, Storm dropping. Zealot dropping. Tanks exploding. Bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, 3 in quick succession there. So he kills the tanks and then has to fall back. He's really had a hard time killing the tanks and being able to push that advantage. Like I always say, you keep the tank count low, you beat a Terran. How do you beat a Terran? You kill their tanks. How do you kill a Protoss? Their shuttles die. That's pretty helpful if they're going gateway, man. I guess. Not sure there's a simple way to determine how on earth a Protoss should be killed by a Terran, but it's just, how many tanks do you have? And that usually tells us a story, unless there's carriers out, which again, I'm trying to keep an eye on the production tab to see if there are carriers. Because nOOB does like carriers. He's won with carriers before on the channel a few times. You think this song is playing in the cockpits of these space construction vehicles for these SCVs? Like, this is what they hear as they're working? I hope so. It'd make you feel epic as you're just gathering minerals, right? You're just harvesting minerals. It's not a big deal, but it makes anything you do when you're listening to this music makes you feel awesome. You're just like, yeah, I'm part of the Terran Empire here, part of the Dominion or Rainer's Raiders or Sons of Korhal or whoever else. I'm awesome. Swinging up into the third base, feeling pretty confident about this. I don't know. You put tanks on this bridge, and there's this water separating you from the tanks, and it's not a great place to go, with Dragoons especially, and yeah, just not. No. This is a really easy base to defend for Terran. You just put tanks over here, there's water in the way, and then you're a sad panda. It's water. That was a storm drop that I missed. Good storm drop. Archon's going to die, but, good drop nevertheless. About 10 kills there. 58 SCVs remain, which is still a fine number if you're on 4 bases. 58 is great. In fact, he's probably oversaturated on a couple of his bases right now and probably going to expand again. Once again, nOOB just kind of controlling these engagements every time. It's another one. Just great. Storms. It's Vultures fighting against Dragoons. Way too many Vultures. I don't know. What are they supposed to do? They're kiting. They're falling back. Falls back to the high ground, though. You're going to miss shots, and I'm not. That's right, Dragoons say. Good micro, by the way. 3-3 on these guys is awesome. The tanks are at 3-1. Working on a 3-2, which is kind of traditional upgrade pathing for Terrans anyway. So once again, Terran doesn't feel really too comfortable pushing with the 4 tanks he's got at the front here, but maybe bringing these guys along could work. Entirely possible. But yeah, shuttles all the livelong day. No arbiters, probably no carriers. At 20 minutes, if you don't have either of those things, I don't know. With the number of gas he has, I imagine carriers would be possible here. It'd be pretty good. Again, though, sharp. Kind of, sort of good number of tanks here, right? 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 tanks. Some of them got to go back and deal with this little push across the middle from these Dragoons, but you know, we could probably set up on this base and cause some problems. Zealots running in. Vulture camp. That's what the vultures are for. The vultures are there, so the zealots can't just run amok. They are by far the greatest answer to vultures that Terran has. Maybe fire bats, but you're never going to see fire bats. Never, ever, ever going to see fire bats in this matchup unless it's the timing push with Marines and fire bats and medics in the first 7 minutes, and then it's awesome. I have a couple games like that on the channel, but not very common in the macro games, is it? So, sieged up. Where are you at, man? Oh, over here. Great. 2 kills, 1 kills on those High Templar. Boring, but this base got dropped on and should be cleaned out. Nexus dead. Probe count still 55, actually. Not bad at all. Is he trying to... No? Okay. Not trying to take the middle. High ground! Siege tank shots don't seem to miss very much when they're on the low ground versus high ground, do they? That Nexus is dead. Some of these SCVs die, but the command center lives. This is the kind of trade a Terran can live with. Right? They'll say, sure. You want to kill some of my SCVs? Great. I'll kill a whole one of your bases and a bunch of your probes. And how do you like them apples? nOOB swinging down the south side of the map. But look who's got units here. Sharp does. He knows where these guys are going. Interesting. Doesn't go for the top left. I feel like that's not a bad idea. Yes, these... Okay, everyone's in trouble. Another drop over here. I don't think he was able to get that many kills. Oh, just kidding. That was a lot of kills. Rewind. Quick. Just a quick little rewind to catch that drop because, whoa. That was a good one. Oh, Gabe, don't hose up on me. You got this, computer. Just pressing rewind. It'll be okay. All right. Fast. Fast forward through the game to the 20-minute mark, and we'll catch that drop. Great. Where is it? Where the heck does it come from? All right, so this base dies. We can times 2 this. This base dies. This base gets dropped. Not many SCVs died, but they got pulled down to this base. Oh, which then became oversaturated, and nOOB knew that. nOOB understood that that base was going to be oversaturated because they evacuated from the 3rd to the 4th. Hey-o. Let's go. So right as this push is happening, this happens. I was distracted by these tanks because they're so beefy and strong. And then suddenly it's 55 SCVs, but also it is a 16-kill High Templar. 31. It's actually 31 SCVs. Did you know that? Wow, that is a game-changing level of Psystorm. Meanwhile, this Nexus is going to die. Puts the Protoss on 2 mining bases. Surprising number of minerals down here. By that I mean there's maybe 1,000 total. Not really going to win the game for you. So once again, SCVs died, command centers lived. That's the difference here. Tanks show up, your base dies, all your probes die unless you evacuate them. High Templars show up, your command center doesn't die because High Templar can't actually do damage to buildings. 180 to 130 supply. nOOB is up, but these tanks have +3. There are a decent number of them falling back to the middle. The middle's been a bloodbath here today. So many engagements happening on this low ground fighting pit. Or a conversation pit. Anybody old enough to remember conversation pits? Look, my entire audience is 35 to 45-year-old dudes in America, so you know what I'm talking about. They'd build houses in the 60s and 70s, and the living room would have like a pit that you'd step down into, and there'd be like seats and stuff, and that's where you'd have conversations, or I don't know. Adults experiences, perhaps, as well. But anyway, weird stuff. They don't build those anymore. So command center down here. This base is completely dead. This base getting replanted. 189 to 132 supply. nOOB is up. 10 of that's in workers, which is good, but the rest of it's in army. However, how much more How many more Dragoons do you need to handle that many tanks is the question. These tanks kind of get left to their own devices and die horribly. These SCVs transferring through almost a really active war zone all of a sudden. Good Spider Mine hit. One Zealot eats 3 Spider Mines. That's a win. And up into this base we go again. But look at this. Vultures dodge the storms, get the High Templar. Oh, there you go. Forcing an Archon merge. Waste your storms on us, they say. Actually, there aren't any SCVs up there anyway, so bit of a waste of a trip, I'd say, from Noob. 195 to 116 supply, though. Look, if this was any other matchup, I'd be like, yeah, 195 is going to beat 116. But Terran is Terran. Cost efficiency of Terran is bananas. Here we go. Sieged up, stormed up. No shuttles here. D-Matrix trying to keep a tank alive for about another half a second there, it feels like. But once again, falling back. And killing that command center is probably fine. The bottom bases are mining, and I think that's all that Sharp is caring about. But this pressure is all of a sudden very, very real into the main base, into the natural base. 180 to 110 supply. Noob doing the economic damage and doing the follow-up up into this bit. Oh, this base. Oh my gosh. This is so many probes. This is so many probes. This was so many probes. Suddenly the worker count is only 2 more for the Protoss. I think Zealot. Okay. Spider-Man connections really helping there, but there are like 10 more Zealots. There are more Zealots where those ones came from. Trying to use siege tanks to deal with the big Zealot attack inside your main is a tough look. 6 Vultures at a time being produced. There are Dragoons in here too, though. Okay, Vultures come out. Zealots need to die. I guess we could just fight everything at this stage. They do clean up the attack inside the main. The factories stay alive. That's kind of huge. Dude, if Sharp can make a comeback here from 190 to 110, still 160 to 90, it's still a massive advantage. Look at the macro capabilities of Noob here. He doesn't have tons of money, but Spider Mines, trying to kite siege tanks. Vultures, hurry. We need you against all. There we go. Zealots are just getting obliterated by these +3 Vultures as they are wont to do. That's a W-O-N-T, English speakers. I think, oh man, I don't know. Science Vessel could D-Matrix a thing, or just, you know, die to Dragoons before anything happens. This base is not defended. That's it. I think that's our game. Yeah, right on top of these tanks. Pin them down. Execute them on the bridge. This base is going to die. Zealots inside your SCV line. They're really the only mining base that exists. Well, this one and the other one, and they're both under fire here. The storm is good. Casual, well, 4-kill High Templar is not incredible, but that's your GG, man. Wow. Yeah, Noob, not the best of openings, but he was able to take advantage of his expansion capabilities, his ability to wipe out the early pushes, and he's got it. Remember, he just made tank deaths look so simple. Another storm drop. 12 SCVs remain. This base isn't happening. This base is barely happening, if at all. Vultures get up here to kill more probes, which is fine. But the Dragoon count's a little bit too much for these guys. It's still 34 probes. Still mining here. Still mining here. Yeah, 2 bases to 0 bases mining is just not going to work out at all. And that's a GG. I don't know why Sharp is still in this game. Guy, I love you. I appreciate what you've done today. But what it really comes down to is you not winning. I'm sorry. I don't know why you think you're going to win this game, but you're not. And there's the GG. Sharp taps out. Noob is our winner. And it's that thing again. If I press P, it will pause the replay. But also, if the replay ends and I press P, it'll restart the whole thing. So that's fun. Anyway, GG, man. Noob just played a great game. He was really behind the 8-ball when he started. He scouted a little bit late. He got taken in by an expansion really fast from Sharp. He got a 3rd base down. Got his 4th base up and a 5th base and a 6th base. And then just kind of rode that to victory. And again, the shuttle drops were beautiful. His ability to deal with siege tanks as they arrived on the high ground here too. Right? High ground positions and wipe them out was just beautiful. That's another clear out. That's another clear out. Right? Every time the Terran try to come across the map and ruin him, he'd set up and he would die. I mean, good defense from the Terran for the most part, too, until that drop here. That really just, there it is, really just ruined his day. knocked him to 30 workers. I don't think he ever really got that much back to where he was, to 45 or 50 workers the rest of the time. Yeah, and then this base was not going to live. And that's a good game. So, GG. nOOB gets the win without even carriers. Imagine that. Not even carriers. 227,000 and 261,000 points. Terran was ahead in that game. Look at that. That's rare. Oh, just kidding. I can't read. 227 to 260. Yeah, of course, the Protoss is ahead. Outproduction by the Terran. The outkill was bigger, though, by the Protoss. Buildings raised 33 to 16. And the outspend in only 27 minutes was a big chunk of change. Almost 20,000, 18,000 resources in 27 minutes will get it done. So that's a GG. That's going to be it for me, and this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.